Gary, a very pleasing afternoon.
Yeah, it was a terrific performance for the players from start to finish. Sometimes when you put in such a good first half performance, you expect there to be a little bit of a dip in the second half, but there wasn't. It was as if we never had a half time, and we actually probably played better and created more chances in the second half. Stephen gets 3, outstanding again for him. On another day he could have got 6 or 7, and it's probably the only time in his career that he'll score a hat-trick and he won't be man of the match, and I would probably give that to the Falkirk goalkeeper, who at times it felt like it was a 1v1 battle with Stephen. We had other chances, but terrific performance for us going forward, which I think our fans know we're now capable of, because we've done it for most of the games this season. But more pleasing for myself and Dougie and the defenders and Alan and Kai and Josh to a lesser extent that we managed to get a clean sheet, because we do generally believe the more clean sheets we get, we'll win games, because we always think we're going to score.
Stephen and the goalkeeper, as you say, will take the headlines today, but it was a real team performance. I thought Andy Sterling's getting better every week. Josh Todd was back. There was the whole team.
Yeah, and we played Josh slightly different today, slightly deeper, which he hasn't played for us before, but that shows another versatility for him, and that's great because we need that. We didn't really want to swap the front 4 after the St Johnstone game, because we thought we caused St Johnstone a lot of problems, and we've done the same again today. You mentioned Andy Sterling. I spoke to Andy after the game on Saturday and said I thought that was his best performance for the club. He's went away over the summer. He didn't want to leave. He had chances to leave. He didn't want to leave. He wanted to work hard, listen to what we wanted and get himself into the team, and he's done that, auditing himself and listening to what we've tried to get him to bring. And I spoke to him before the game today saying now it's about consistency. Can you deliver what you delivered last week? And he was probably even better today. So that's fantastic, because he's now working hard and he always carries a threat as well. So we've got a nice blend there just now, a nice balance. It's going well for us in the attacking sense, and as I say, that was a good one today for the defenders.
Corresponding fixture here last season, this same time, Dove's got a hat-trick that day as well. I remember you coming out and saying, wow, was that a similar feeling today?
I think it was better today. I generally do, because I think in the last game we conceded a goal and there was a period of 10 or 15 minutes where Falkirk were on top. That never generally happened today. We were on top for about 90 minutes and created, I'll have a guess, 14, 15 shots on target.
22 shots.
And maybe 22 shots and maybe 15 on target, which is some achievement away from home, especially in the Championship. So the players have trained hard all week. We were disappointed that we went out the cup last week. They had a wee bit between themselves, which is a good sign. There's been a few wee niggles in training this week, which is a good thing as well. What it shows is they care, but they're a good group, and we're playing at a good level just now.
Do you feel that it is getting better week on week? Last week you said you wanted 90 minutes, you got that against St Johnstone. Taking it into Falkirk today, do you feel that it is getting better week on week?
Yeah, I do generally feel that. I always try and be quite honest with you. As I thought, with 9 games in, I thought first 30 minutes and the last 30 minutes against Stranraer wasn't good enough. First half against Motherwell, we started well, and then we had about 30 minutes in the first half, wasn't good enough. In the first half against Dundee United, but if 9 or 10 games, if that's all I can really say to you is where I've been disappointed with the level of performance, it shows that there's a good consistency there. What we have to do, the biggest thing I keep saying is we have to manage the squad. Because you've got a smaller squad, you can't afford to pick up injuries, and if the same lads in the main are going to be playing more minutes, and maybe you see Falkirk there, they've brought in 16 players for example, if I use them, so Paul's got he can switch players and he can play players some games and rest them other games. At this moment in time we can't do that. So what we have to do, and it's a credit to the backroom staff, to Dougie and to Gavin, is we have to make sure that we manage their training properly and we don't overwork them in training so that they can put performances on like that.
You have lost Callum for Dice for a length of time, so that's an example of where we...
But I think Michael Doyle's been a valuable signing for us in terms of his versatility, but I think probably his best 3 or 4 performances has been when he's been at centre half. So we've maybe stumbled onto something there. I would still like to try and add a defender, I'm going to speak and try and see what we can do, because you would like, let's just say Callum Semple got injured for example, you're then probably having to move Kai out of your midfield, so it would be good to just try and add, but we'll see. We've spoke to the chairman there, and hopefully we can maybe try and do something before the window closes.
It's got a week left before that happens, so shortlist.
Well, I hope anybody watching here, I didn't lose any of my players. But you know, I'm a wee bit more relaxed about Stephen because that article he done, he says he doesn't want to leave. So, but if you know, I think there'd be plenty of teams in the Premier League would want to take him on what he's producing.
We've spoken to Stephen and he's happy here, he's loving his football, he's seen.
Well, I keep winding him up, I tell him I'm just keeping the seat warm for him. I told him he'll be the next manager of Queen of the South, but he says he's got a few more years left in him, so I hope he's right, and hopefully I'll be the manager here to watch him continue putting in performances like that. However, we highlight Stephen because of his goals and his performances, and we've spoke about him more than anybody else, and it's probably a wee bit unfair after that today because that was a team performance. You know, everybody done their jobs, and Stephen gets his hat-tricks, gets the headlines, and that's fine, but he knows the importance of the roles that everybody else played, and I think it's important that we point that out today.
We're just saying, no, that's his 14th goal and we're still in August.
Yeah, it's fantastic, Sandra, and long may it continue. I think he's on 50 odds in 80 games for me as a manager, so he knows the team's built round about him, and we know if we can do our jobs at the other end and create chances more times. Listen, he'll be angry with himself today. This is Stephen Dobie. He's delighted he's in there with one. He's a captain. He's got 3. He's got the match ball. He will be angry with himself that he's not got 5 or 6, and probably put himself in the record books. He's scoring the most goals in a single championship game. But that's the drive that he's got, and he seems to be have more drive and more hunger the older he's getting. And how he's playing, there's no doubt in my mind he can play 38, 39.
We were joking with him saying your hat-trick, but what about the 6 that you missed? But
No, and we've had a wee bit about that as well, because let me rest assured, Stephen's the first one to come and shouting if we're conceding goals at the other end. So, you know, I think the defenders took a wee bit of glory today, giving them a wee bit wind up, Damon Allen, about what about the ones that you missed. But as I say, there's a good atmosphere in there just now. Football's a funny game, you can be plodding along nicely and then boom, something hits you. So we'll enjoy today, because as I say, coming away to a team, especially as big a club as Falkirk, you know, they've got off to an indifferent start. Very difficult. I done it at East Fife in my second year. I got rid of everybody apart from 3-4 players, and you try and build a new squad, and if it doesn't gel straight away, you can find yourself thinking, oh, have I done the right thing? But you know, Paul's a good manager. He's proven himself that he's a good manager, especially at this level, and I'm sure given time, Falkirk will turn themselves around. What happened was they had a poor day today, and we were probably at the top of our game, and when that happens at any game in the Championship this year, because the teams are quite evenly matched, you'll probably find that you'll lose the game.
Don't want to keep it on about Stephen Dobie, but we have to say, because his goals today take him into that second.
Is he second, is he? Well, that's a fantastic achievement, you know, and wouldn't have put him past, I don't even know what the leader's on, but he'll
251.
Yeah, he'll probably think he can catch him. That's just how he is. But what he'll be wanting to do is he'll be wanting to get too close as he can, and he'll be wanting to get as far away for the other ones as possible. So we'll manage him. You know, he gets a day off here and there extra than other players, and I think that's quite right due to his age. But today, that was, me and Dougie were proud to stand there. We said it last week when we got beat, I was proud to be their manager, and it was the same again today. They're giving me everything, and when they give everything, there's nothing else you can't ask them anymore. You can't get angry with them. You can just correct them on some things that they've done wrong, and they're giving me and the club their absolute lot. So long may it continue.
When you get a performance like that, you just can't wait for the next game to come.
I'm looking forward to it because, as I say, Ayr played in the league below. There'll be a freshness to the game. I'm looking forward to seeing Lawrence Shankland. You know, we played against him at St Mirren, but obviously he's on a different level now. I always remember Derek McInnes, when I was speaking to him, thought he was one of the most natural finishers that Aberdeen had. Whatever's happened, maybe a wee bit like Stephen, maybe a wee bit late developer, maybe didn't really realise what he had when he was at Aberdeen and he's had to drop down the levels, and whatever he's done himself, he's a different player now. He looks leaner, fitter. They'll be saying, their team talk will be, we need to try and keep Stephen Dobie quiet. A lot of ours will be, we need to keep Lawrence, but he's not the only one. You know, they've got the lad Moore that Dougie worked with at Cowdenbeath. He always spoke very highly of him. They've got Michael Moffat. They've got good players in the wider area. Andy Murdoch, steady midfield player, just backs everything up and lets everybody go. So they're a good team. Liam Smith that had at East Fife and it was at St Mirren. Dan Harvey that was for Aberdeen. They've got a good team, and they've just continued on for last season. They'll be flying high. Their confidence is high. So that'll be an extremely difficult game for us, and we'll get to that probably about Tuesday. But you know, Sunday, Monday recovery, and then we'll start focusing on Ayr on Tuesday.
And the start that they've made, they'll be coming down with.
Oh, listen, Ian, I'll tell you, he's disappointed when they didn't score. There's no way Ian McCall will be coming to settle for a point. They'll be 4-4-2, and they'll think that they can outscore us. So, as I say, for the neutrals, it should be a good game next week.